Severa on line one from Summerall or Summery. That is a tongue twister right there. Severa, thank you so much for calling in tonight. What can we help you with?
Good evening.
I had a personal injury. I went to a hotel. The frame on the window, the whole frame of the window fell out and fractured my foot.
Oh, wow.
And anyways, I did my case with Richard Schwartz and Associate. Anyways, and time went by. They said that they were going to do a letter of demand and that everything was working out and everything. And then all of a sudden, they just said they weren't going to take my case anymore. They sent me all my paperwork, and anyways, but they paid out somebody, but I never received anything.
Severa, I'm going to jump in here real quick. I'm having a little trouble hearing you in the earpiece here. That's probably just the phone line. Sorry about that. This one sounds a little complicated. Jim, and I think she even mentioned that she had an attorney on this one.
I think so, and so let me just give you a few words of advice on this little bit of information. So, you know, attorneys are working for you, and so you deserve an explanation as to why they're not taking your case. And
Yes,
you should,
yes.
If you hadn't, it wasn't clear to me whether you had or not, you should ask them, you know, why they're not taking your case. And certainly if money has changed hands on the case, then you're entitled to know where the money went. And I would find that would be really not unheard of, but highly unlikely that an
Right.
attorney would settle your case and take money and pay somebody and you not know anything about it. So the first thing I would do is talk to the attorney, try to get a sit down and talk to him about the details of what happened and get an explanation. The second thing, you can have another attorney look at your case as long as the statute of limitations hadn't expired. Now, attorneys look at cases. David and I do it all the time. And some you take and some you don't. And some other attorney might look at the same case and think it's a case that he wants to proceed with. So there's no absolute right and wrong. Attorneys use their own judgment in deciding what to take for different reasons. But they should have told you in time so that you could have the time to get another attorney. And typically you're going to have 3 years from the time you were hurt to file a claim. Hopefully that time hasn't expired, and if it hadn't, you've got plenty of time then contact another attorney, see if they'll take your case and proceed accordingly. But you need to move quickly though.
But her attorney absolutely has an obligation to keep her updated. When she calls him on Monday or him or her on Monday, they'll say, hey, look, this is what happened.
Yeah, and if you discharge somebody, you should tell them why you're not taking the case. And,
Yes.
And other attorneys may have different opinions. We do that all the time.
But if money changed hands, probably something's happening, huh, David?
Well, I mean, I can't hear the caller, so I don't know exactly
well, then don't worry about it.
But yes, if any client pays an attorney, then there's a attorney-client relationship there, and there are certain duties and obligations of the attorney to the client that are spelled out that all attorneys are aware of. So, so the client is entitled to hear from their attorney and get updates regularly and understand what's going on with their claim.
Gotcha. All right, Severa, thank you so much for the call tonight. We really do appreciate it. But don't give me too many calls from her neck of the woods, so we appreciate her watching.